Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to help you out how to add games to the X16. There are different brands out there. For example, we're having the Pow Kitty and some other versions. But nevertheless, they are all the same if it comes to the layout, the software and what you can do with it. So, two ways to add games. Let's start with the first one. Alright, so in method 1 we are going to use the internal storage. So it can be 8 GB, 16 GB. It depends on what kind of version that you bought back at the day. So we're having here the micro USB cable. That's also we're going to need. If you don't get one, you need to purchase one. They're not very expensive. And we're going to use the little micro USB connection here at the top. Of course, we're going to use this version inside the PC because we're going to transfer the data straight from the PC into the device. Let's hold the button, let's power it on, and let's connect it to the laptop because there are some little things you need to know. Hey, welcome. Alright, the PC is powered on, including the device itself, and when you putting the USB cable inside the PC, you will see that it will ask you how to transfer. I recommend just use power and data because it will charge the system and will transfer, or better said, it will show you the storage of the device itself. When everything works, it will show up like this. You need to open it up like a folder because it's just a storage device or an external storage device in this case. And the next thing that we're going to see is all of the folders are inside the storage. And as you can see, there are quite some. Don't mess around too much with it because we only need the game folder. Because in the game folder here we need to put our games in. Depends of course what kind of version you're having, and the reason I'm saying this, some of them already have some preset folders, but you can just make them yourself. I also recommend doing this because it's so very easy to search your games. So that's the only thing you need to do when it comes for adding games and using the internal storage. And by the way, when you're putting the wrong games in a wrong folder, that's not a big of an issue because at the end, when you're clicking on a file, it just recognizes what kind of emulator it's going to use. Okay, so in step number 2 or method number 2, where you can use an SD format. So if your 16 GB or 4 GB internal storage is completely full, you can always use an extra card. So how you need to do it is very simple. You get yourself a card reader. You can buy them on AliExpress. Leave a link in the description. These are pretty cheap. Get yourself USB 3.0. Then we're having the little SD card. I recommend you buying let's say a brand like SanDisk, or you can buy them in China, but buy let's say a famous China brand. Otherwise it's high possible you're going to get a fake one. Just get a 60 GB, more than enough, because PlayStation 1 will not run perfectly on this device, so you don't need to bother adding them to this device. So what you're going to do is here at the back we can find a little gap, and here we can put our SD card in. But before you're going to do this, I will show you how you need to format it. If you're not formatting it correctly, you can't use the SD card and it will not recognize. I just wanted to show you, I think a lot of you will have this problem. When you're putting it in, okay, now it says card out, but when you're going to put in the SD card, you want to make an SD card and you always get this freaking message that it doesn't get any support of the SD card. So I will show you how to fix it and how you can actually use an SD card inside this device. With the card reader, we can very easily put it in our PC through the USB connection. When everything goes like it should be, we'll show the SD card. So the first thing that we need to do, we're going to format it. By pressing right mouse click on the SD card, left mouse click on the format option. So what you're going to need to do over here is you need to format it in the right format. If you choose something different, like the first option for example, or the FAT32, you will get the error that a lot of people will have at the moment. So you need to put it on exFAT. We just gave it a different name. Keep in mind, it doesn't matter what kind of name you're using, or maybe you're not filling it in, but it's just for showing here in the video. Alright, so it's formatted. Always use quick format, and that's it. I recommend making some folders because it is way more convenient to use when you're having multiple files. You can drop them inside this folder if you have, say, 5 or 10 games, but at the end it's going to be pretty damn messy if you are using a lot of different files. Okay, so when everything is ready, We're going to put in the SD card, and you will see this time it will recognize the card and it won't give you the error message. So how are you opening up the files? That is pretty simple. Going to the games, for example, and now we're going to use external games, directory lists. Here you can choose internal memory card, and here we choose card. And as you can see, here we have the folders. And when you're putting the files in them, or better said, the games, you can very easily play them. And this is how it works. So that concludes this video. I hope it really helped out. And if you have any questions, I'll leave it in the comments. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and I will see you in the next video.